Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my next quarterly goals.
I want to be a writer because I like to write. I like to tell stories.
Very, very sophisticated hats. Not really. It's all about creative writing. This was more my cup of tea. A little bit of a tight one though. Still, when you get writing, you just gotta do what you can. Thank you for joining me on my creative writing journey.
My name is James Seviour.
So, wrapping up the year, I'd like to say that it's been quite a successful year in the end. If you can remember, back in October, I made a collection of plans of what I had to achieve that month. It was very ambitious trying to achieve everything in 1 month, considering it took me a while to reintegrate my life back into the UK. So, number one, and the most important thing on that list, was find work. So as soon as I got back, I had to set up a bank account, which wasn't easy. Within 2 weeks of me landing, I managed to get myself into a part-time agency job working on the phones. Not only that, I've been working in the evenings too in restaurants, just if it's not plate serving or waiting or cleaning behind the scenes, whatever it took just to get me back into the rhythm of my English lifestyle. And the result has paid off. The objective number 2. Find my own place and move out of my mum's house. Now don't get me wrong, I had a really nice time living with my mum, but at the same time I was sleeping on the couch and I just needed to get my own place. Now this place, what I've got at the moment, is actually a house share where I've got my own bed, my own room, my own space, and I'd be able to focus on studying and writing and doing what I want to do. Bottom line is my own space, and it hasn't been easy to get, but I managed to get it. Hence the work. So you work, you reap the rewards. 3 was to join a writers group. I joined a writers group here in Bath called Bath Between the Margins. I found it on Meetup, an application I downloaded, and we meet up once every 2 weeks in a pub nearby here called the Piltree Arms. And we meet up, we talk about work we were talking about during the course of the week. We send each other emails to talk about what you think about this piece or that piece. And I have yet to present my work because I'm still feeling rather insecure, rather new to the group, whereas everyone else are chucking their pieces around and I'm listening and making my own critique, and it's quite interesting because there's always positive feedback and nice people. Now, objective number 4 was actually to join a writer's workshop. Now, these are not actually as easy as I thought they would be because they're rather expensive. And most of the workshops take place like once or twice a year in different places around the country. I've actually found one which is going to take place nearby in a place called Hawkwood. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know England anymore. Tell me anywhere in Chile and I'm there, you know. It's like you say like Chillán, you say like Arica or Pichidangi, Copiapó, these weird names. I know exactly where they are, but if you say a place like Stroud, I'm like, what? So I need to know England a bit better, so this is an opportunity. This place called Hawkwood, I actually found it in the local library. You've got to go to your local library. So Hawkwood is a centre of future thinking. They've got many workshops for different activities, but one of which caught my eye is The Good Messenger, writing workshop on Friday the 18th to Sunday the 20th of January. Explore the essentials of becoming a better writer. Hey, that's got my name written all over it, because to be honest, that's all I want to be, as a better writer. So my objective number 4 hasn't been completed yet, but I'm on it, so hopefully this time next month I'll be able to report to you that I'll be on my way, and let's see if I learn something interesting from this workshop meeting. So objective number 5 was actually to submit a short story of mine to the Pigeonhole competition, which I did. I didn't even get shortlisted, to be honest. I didn't get that far at all. I got an automatic response saying that the piece was read through, but it was not considered for the judges, which I was a bit bummed out. But yeah, and of course, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I did NaNoWriMo. That was actually an objective back in October, to complete the whole National Novel Writers Month. Traveling between Portishead and Bath every other day, typing away. I did it, completed it, enjoyed it. Afterwards, read a bit of it, and I was like, yeah, I need to give it some time because I need to edit it like a lot. But it was still fun, it was still good. One day it will make something interesting, but more importantly it shows you can make 50,000 words in 1 month if you really put a lot of dedication to it, so I'm very happy with that. Objective number 8 was making a video every day, every other week. I did, I made a video every other week. I feel more confident just actually freelancing this, just actually saying what I think rather than actually scripting it. Although I've got a small script here to refer to, it's not as much as when I was reading it from my phone or reading it from a script. I felt very, very rigid, couldn't really, it wasn't really flexible, wasn't a lot of movement, and all my voice comes out of movement, baby. So what I think I achieved in 2 months is not bad, but I do realize that that was more of a 2-month thing now thinking about it. It wasn't really much of a October, then November do something else. That was a long process, those 2 months. So I figure it's probably best to make quarterly goals than monthly goals. So here we are today making our quarterly goals. Let me get my notepad out. So let's talk about my next quarterly goals, which will involve the beginning of next year, 2019. Now, objective number 1, finish writing The Little Gang. It's just a working title at the moment, and I'm sure I'll find a better one for it. But as it stands, it's been really interesting to write in the first person. I'm now even on chapter 5, which I started writing, I started writing 2 weeks ago, but at the same time I've been like spreading it out because it's kind of been interesting to get to know the psychology behind each character. I know a lot of it's going to have to be cut because of course there's a lot of writer's indulgence in there. I've really gone too much into detail, certain scenarios and situations have taken place which don't really help the plot get along. So that's going to be a shame when I cut it, but it's got to be done, hasn't it? You got to get to the story. Lovely scripts, all these lovely words. Yeah, I got to cut that out because of course the reader's not really going to get involved with all that. 2, save more money. Now, if I expect to go to university next year, I'm going to do a lot of saving. Save some money over the last 2 months, but of course this money has been actually used for getting my own place and do certain things. And now I've got a permanent contract and I've got these little incomes coming in. I still believe that I can save, hopefully, triple what I've been saving at the moment. So by this time in September, I'll be in university and have enough money to not only be in university, but perhaps even have a part-time job so I can support my lifestyle as it is. Number 3, write a short story every week. So this was something I really wanted to do on my blog originally, just have a short story a week to keep me writing. I love writing short stories. They're never really that long. I mean, sometimes I get really passionate about it and it takes 2 or 3 weeks, but I want to keep it simple, keep it sweet. A few paragraphs about something interesting, maybe something I saw or something I did, just keep my blog active. Recently I've been receiving a lot more traffic than usual, which is good, which means I get a lot of attention. So I figure if I can just keep writing stuff out there, perhaps these people are going to start looking at it more, or perhaps everyone's going to start looking at it more because it went dead for a long time. But now I'm adding stuff into it. I really want to add more short stories to it, and in fact I really want to make it better. So I want to improve my blog, perhaps change the layout, perhaps do something unique, I don't know. So we're going to work on that. Objective number 4, I really want to edit the code of existence. I haven't mentioned it before, but about 2 years ago I came up with this concept about a simulated universe. This will start with Elon Musk in a YouTube video mentioning about the possibility that virtual reality games become so realistic, who's to say we're not living in a simulated world now. So with that one comment, and of course a lot of theories going on online, you kind of let your imagination spur into something unique, and I did create this interesting story which I did actually have proofread back then, but my writer skills were not as advanced as I feel they are today. And when I read it now, it's a lot of I thought he said, those not so much, but more distance from the character, more involved in the digital kind of vortex or digital world they're stuck in. And I really want to look back on it and edit it and bring it up to date, because it was fun and I really like the concept. And as I'm really kind of going back into my old projects and trying to revamp them it's about making them more creative rather than actually rewriting them. So as it stands, they were good ideas, but I really felt that I never had the opportunity to execute them the way I'm going to now. So the code of existence, keep your eye on it. It's going to be something interesting, it's going to be something special, because I really enjoyed it. And it's something that I really want to go back to, clean up and make special for the future. So objective number 5, so I'm actually doing a course at the moment online in order to improve my skills, learn new skills, and hopefully use that in my future CV to see if I can find any opportunities which involves creativity online. And if that's the case, then I would love to create something unique with writing online, through websites, through publishing online, because nowadays everything is done through the internet. But of course there also is a book industry, there's a computer industry. I want to put something together, but at the same time I don't know what. So bottom line, I just want to work at the skills I have. Objective number 6, I want to study a big fat book. As I mentioned before, I studied the textbook of The Writer's Journey, really enjoyed it, really fascinating. I took a lot of notes. I actually have a notebook full of notes around here somewhere. I will read one day. It's just, you know, when you write, when you're studying it, you make loads of notes. I mean, but to go back on it, it's like, well, I need to one day. So the next one I want to study is actually called the story grid. It's what an editor looks for in a book. So that's the story grid, and then afterwards I want to see if I can look at some other books too to help me improve my description more than anything, and pace. So there's a lot of things I need to work on, but if I know I've got to work on, then I'll work on them. Okay, objective number 7 is to finish this book, which I always have actually. I don't know why it's an objective here, but it just gives you a bit of motivation to keep me rolling. This is called Hippie by Paulo Coelho. He's the writer of The Alchemist, and The Alchemist is actually one of my favourite books. It's recommended by my brother Philip. I was talking about this book. It's a true story about Paulo Coelho's trip through Europe and on his way to Nepal. It's on a bus, the magic bus. But it's interesting to see their perspective on life. You know, it's very similar to how things are today. In fact, a lot of things you could feel that they are actually written today. I mean, everyone's drive to kind of travel, everyone's drive to like search for identity and love and God is all there. And it's nice to see that drive, not something new, but it's very something that we've all been working towards. And it's a personal journey, and it's nice that he's sharing it because you get to see different perspectives on life and what he has to say, what she has to say too. Carla's a very interesting character. I'm enjoying it. Reading it really fast actually. I got it like 2 weeks ago and I almost finished it. But yeah, so that's, I got to finish that one. But also I had this other book which I got given for a Secret Santa at work. Now someone got me this. Now I don't know what this is. It's called Battle Royale Remastered. Oh, it looks like a manga comic, you know, all this manga kind of like stuff. But it's a Japanese book, like samurai stuff. And but it's defined here as being a futuristic Lord of the Flies. I was very interested when I got this because I consider what I'm writing, The Little Gang, to be like a modern adaptation of The Lord of the Flies. So the fact that I got this and it said that, it got my attention. So objective number 9, finally personal growth. Now I know I didn't manage to lose much weight over the last 2 months, but that's still on the agenda, so I'm gonna do it, okay? Wake up every day since I moved in very early. I get my sit-ups done, my press-ups done, I get running, and that's all working, but it's gonna take a lot of dedication to get into real good shape, so that's what I'm working on at the moment. 3 months time, who knows, you'll look at a thinner, fitter guy, yeah. And not to mention that I need to get a whole new revamp on my wardrobe because I've been using the same clothes for the last 2 months. So come January sales, I'm gonna go get myself some new shirts, some new trousers, the whole shebang. I've got to get a whole new wardrobe, fill that bad boy out, throw all my old stuff out, and see how we get on. Objective number 10 is to continue making these videos. It motivates me, it also gets me in contact with a wider audience, and I like to share what I'm going through in order to become a better writer. Also, I do hope people will enjoy watching what I'm doing, so the material will improve with the more I like to study. And that's the objective. So if I can make my videos, make them educational, make them entertaining, and really improve every time I make a new video, that's objective number 10. So to end on that, I'd like to say that this is going to be an interesting beginning to the new year. 2018 is now coming to a close. It's been a really long year, it's been strange, it's been both exciting but sad. You know, I've had to let a lot of things go, and I've also had to pick up a lot of new things, and it's amazing how much you can really do with your life if you really dedicate yourself to change. There's a lot of things to adapt to, a lot of things to learn, and that's what we have to always remember, that learning is what is important to each and every one of us. Whatever you do in life, make sure you're always learning, you know, even if it's not necessarily education, even if it's learning from your mistakes, learning how to make a better garden, learning how to be a better person. Learning is essential to the human experience. I think when you stop learning, you become stagnant in life, you just become a rock, you know, nothing happens. People always like to say how circumstances are the reason for their failures. They'll always blame it on some other outside force, when deep down it's not about the outside forces really, it's about your choice and how you deal with those circumstances. Don't get me wrong, some circumstances are extreme, and I'm not saying that those circumstances do not affect you, but what I am saying is that you do have the choice to show how you can affect your world by just adapting to change. And if you choose to be happy, if you choose to do positive things, if you choose to do something, then those circumstances become less. Opportunities become to pop their heads up left, right, and centre. It's not about the circumstances, it's about our reaction to the circumstances, because that is the only thing really in our control, how we react in that moment. Everything else, however, is beyond our control. I can never have any illusions behind it. But I think that whatever you like to do in life, if you choose to do something, then you stick to it, persevere, and make it work. Thank you very much for listening. I'll make another video before Christmas. But in the meantime, let's do quarterly updates, get ready for 2019. I recommend you will do one too. Set your goals, set your targets, and get writing. Thank you very much. Good night.